What is up, everybody? This is Nick from P2W Fantasy, going live on Week 11 Sunday. And what I thought I'd do today is go through the games, obviously, talk about some things that stand out, but also open invite to the community. So anybody who wants to jump in, you can jump in. You can plug who you are, your content, what you got going on, but you have to bring a Week 11 hot take. So the live stream link is actually in the comments. So if you'd like to jump in, feel free to do so. Hopefully we can have some people in and out throughout the duration of this live stream. So again, open invite. The link is in the comments. Come on in, say who you are, what you got going on, what you're working on, and make sure to bring a Week 11 hot take. So give people a little bit of time here. Otherwise, I'll just be going on a rant talking about Week 11 and what we got going on today, starting with some of the noon games here. So first game on the slate here is the Steelers versus the Jags. So obviously, Steelers being undefeated brings the a tough spot for the Jaguars to step into. So one of the things from this game that I'm going to be looking for is how is James Robinson going to be in this game against that Steelers defense? So James Robinson on the year right now is the RB3, having some great games. He's averaging 8.1 points on the year. We saw some huge games out of James Robinson, 30 points in week 3, 31.7 in week 7. Across the board, really not having too many bad games. His bad games are like 10 points. So, I mean, is that, ideal for one of your starting running backs? Sometimes no, but at the same time, you're not getting burned by James Robinson almost ever. So it'll be interesting to see what he does in this Pittsburgh game, just because it's going to be a tough matchup for him. That Steelers defense is very good, but the volume for James Robinson is unreal. We're looking at having games with 22, 25, 23 carries, and then some of those games having 5 or 4 catches. He had 6 catches in week 3. So he's involved in the passing game. He's rushing the ball a lot. The volume is there. It's crucial. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see on his end. How does he perform against that Pittsburgh defense, especially with Jake Luton under center, who hasn't been super good. He's not throwing the ball as well as Gardner Minshew has. So we'll see if they stack the box versus James Robinson. So again, if you're watching and you want to jump in, the link is on the comments. Plug your content and bring a hot take for the week. Another thing I think is important to look at is the receiving core for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, all 3 of the guys that we're thinking about have the ability to have some good weeks. The guy that stands out to me out of consistency is Deontay Johnson, though. We saw some good games out of Chase Claypool, big games out of Claypool. Juju Smith-Schuster has had some very nice games too. The difference here, though, is Deontay Johnson, the volume and the targets is very good. So we got our first guy jumping in the stream here. What is up?
What's going on, Nick?
Hey, man, just jumping live on Football Sunday and hoping some guys are going to be jumping in. So I'm happy you hopped in here.
Yeah, man, I saw you on Twitter yesterday post about it, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity to get on, talk a little football, a little hot take for Week 12. I can't believe it's Week 12 already, man.
Yeah, I absolutely. It's crazy how fast the season went by, especially with so many question marks with, if the season was even going to happen or if it was going to go for the length. So I dig that. So obviously I know what you got going on, Steve. Why don't you tell everybody live what you work on a weekly basis and the grind you have going on, because I'm a big fan of it. So make sure to tell everybody else.
Yeah, so I'm with Climb the Pocket, climbthepocket.com. We got tons of good writers over there that produce articles every single day. Just good articles to help you win your fantasy football league. We're headlined by our 2 main guys. It's Bootleg Fantasy. I'm sure you know them on Twitter, and then at 360FFB. These guys have been around the fantasy football Twitter game for a long time. They're pretty popular, so they're the main part of our team, whatnot. But I kind of run our YouTube channel, and me and Bootleg Fantasy kind of put our starts, sits together every single week. We're currently, we're every day we're adapting. We're coming up with new stuff. Next year, we're going to have even more stuff, but we hope, you go over to our YouTube channel, check it out. We'll help you win your fantasy football matchup each and every week with our starts and sits. We've been pretty decent, average like 65% on the, throughout each of the positions, but we'll give you the starts and sits at quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end. We just went over 1,000 subscribers. So if you're already a subscriber and you happen to be watching this, we really appreciate it. If not, really think you should go check it out. We want to help you win your fantasy football championship. So, yeah.
And you guys just hit a milestone this year, right? What's the subscriber count up to?
Yeah, we're over 1,000. We're like at 1,020. We're hoping to get more. This was a pretty big leap this year. We had a couple videos pop off, got us a lot of followers, a lot of subscribers. But throughout this year, the off season, and hopefully into next year, we can get a lot more and whatnot because we want to keep it going. We have a really good time doing it. Me and Ryan are really enjoying being on camera and whatnot, so it's pretty fun.
So one of you two have a little bit of a lead over the other in terms of their calls for the week? Or are you guys splitting on a weekly basis here?
Yeah, it's kind of like a split. If you watch each video, we kind of throw a little trophy up in the corners to a little humble brag. We don't always mention it every week, but we put the trophy up there. If you watch the video and you see the trophy, the last guy got him last week. We don't necessarily mention the margin. Sometimes it's pretty wide margin, but we're not trying to embarrass anyone.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we all hit or miss on a weekly basis, and I mean, even coming into the season, like my hot takes that I had kind of fell through due to injuries and things like that. But is what it is. So in terms of this week of football here, what do we? What's your hot take here?
It's kind of hard to come up with like hot takes, I'm just going to come up with a couple of projections that I could see happening, and maybe they're pretty hot, I guess, based on what's been happening. There's been some news in Philadelphia. I guess Doug Peterson mentioned that it's going to be more of a committee this week. I don't really know how that's going to happen with Corey Clement not playing. I mean, they brought Jordan Howard to the practice squad. I'm not really sure if he's got elevated or anything like that. Obviously, Boston Scott is still there. But I can see Miles Sanders with the weather in Cleveland. They're going to get a third straight week of some bad weather, some rain. It's going to be cold. Miles Sanders, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's not going to disappoint you this week without finding the end zone. So he's going to get in. And then just another quick little hot take. I know the Washington football team defense has been pretty solid against quarterbacks and wide receivers all year long, but I have a really good feeling about Joe Burrow. He's currently ranked outside of the top 12 on Fantasy Pros consensus rankings, and I could see him being like a top 7 play this week, making another guy on the team, wide receiver T. Higgins, elevated from like a top 20 play maybe all the way up to a top 10 play. Not, like I said, hot take, but T. Higgins has been killing it. Him and Joe Burrow really have a connection, so I really like this game for them. I like Cincinnati's offense. I lost you, Nick.